So this is the one all-rounder language which will help you in your placements, in your open source contribution, in your project development, and so on. Hey everyone, my name is Sagar and you are welcome to our new YouTube channel. As this is our very first video, so let me clear some questions. Our first question is, who am I? So my name is Sagar and I am pursuing computer science degree from Chandigarh Group of Colleges, Janjedi. Let me give you a brief of my programming journey. I started programming in first year of my college. I almost tried everything and by this time I got my grip on Java, Python, problem solving, a little bit of competitive programming, open source and Android application development. Within 5 to 6 months of developing, I made 10 to 15 cool projects, added them to my resume, completed one internship, contributed to open source and so on. If you are having any doubts, feel free to check my social profile. I did everything in public. So our next question is, why am I here? I am here to share my knowledge, my way of learnings and to guide coding enthusiasts through my experiences by preventing them from making the mistakes I did. So without making any further ado, let's get started. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the one best programming language that you should learn as a beginner, the one that I learned and the one that you should be learning. First, let me clear that if you learned any of the language, you will never regret. You can easily shift from one language to another language as all core concepts are almost similar. And in this video, I am just going to share my opinions and my insights of the language that I listed. I will not say that this depends on that and that will depend on this. I will just give you a clear-cut answer for which language you should be learning. So let's get started with our first language, which is C. So let us see what benefits it have for a beginner. You must have heard about it as it is commonly used language for beginners and your college and school will definitely teach you. So its main point will be it will help you in your college studies. But is it the only benefit it have? No, it is a very fast and efficient language. You can enter in OS development, you can create interpreters, compilers, you can create graphic drivers, work with database systems, but you can just create them as a beginner. So with the perspective of a beginner, we are gonna give it a 1 mark. Why? Because it is going to help only in your college studies. So now let's move ahead to our second language, which is C++. So as its name stands, it is the advanced version of C and it is much faster because it is an object-oriented language. And its first benefit is it is helpful in your college studies. Likewise, C, your college is going to teach you C++. But it have much more benefits than C. You can use it for game development, GUI based apps, web browser. You can use it to create banking apps. You can also create OS with it. And it is also helpful in creating trading apps. And its another two main benefits are it is helpful in your placements. Right, C++ is the one of the most suggested language in your placements. And it is also helpful in your competitive programming. So from the aspect of a beginner, I'm gonna give it a 3 marks. So now moving ahead to our next language, which is Python. So Python, it is very beautiful and in-demand language. And its main benefit is it is very easy than any other language. Its syntax is very similar to that pseudocode we write. So its first main point is it is very easy and in-demand language. With a variety of libraries available, you can do data analysis, data visualization, work in AI and ML field, and you are just good to go with web and game development with Python. So for a beginner, it is very easy to learn and with a variety of libraries available, you can easily enter in development field with Python. So we are gonna give it 2 marks. So now moving ahead to our next language, which is JavaScript. If you haven't heard about JavaScript yet, I am telling you in future you are definitely gonna work in it as it is one of the most in-demand language that is used worldwide in development of different fields. So its first main point is it is in demand and at one point you definitely have to work in JavaScript. It has so many benefits for a beginner. Let me tell you all one by one. Its another benefit is if you know basics of HTML and CSS, you are good to go with web development. And with a number of frameworks available, you can create mobile apps, games and server applications. And JavaScript is also used in creating web applications like Google Maps and YouTube, and also in web servers like Apache and Microsoft IIS. And its another main point is it is widely used in open source projects. So for a beginner, we are gonna give it 3 marks. As it is an in-demand language, you are good to go with development and you can also contribute in open source projects. So now moving ahead to our last language, which is Java. Java is also one of the most popular language you might have heard. It has so much benefits for a beginner. Let us discuss all one by one. Its first main point is it is helpful in your placements. Yes, Java is also one of the most commonly suggested language for your placements. Its another plus point is you are good to go with mobile application development if you know basics of Java. Java is also used in so many open source projects that have beginner friendly issues and you can directly contribute to them if you have a basic knowledge of Java. Java is also used in development of variety of things like cloud-based applications, desktop GUI development, game development, and also big data technology. So from the perspective of a beginner, I'm gonna give it 3 marks because it is helpful in your placements, in your open source contributions, and in mobile application development. So after all this analysis, we got a conclusion that Java, JavaScript, and C++ might be our best options. So let's compare 3 of them. So the first benefit that C++ have is it is helpful in your college studies. Let me bust the myth first. Believe me, your college is not going to give you anything. If you want to get a job, you have to learn everything by yourself. According to me, today Indian education system don't have that much relevant subjects that should be taught in your college. Still, in most of the colleges, in your fresher year, you have to learn carpentry, chemistry, etc. And these are not going to help you in your placements. So according to me, college studies is not a worthy reason to invest your time in learning a language. Its another benefit was it is helpful in your placements. Yes, it is going to help you in your placements as it have core concepts like pointers and etc. If you have interest in competitions of Code Chef, Code Forces, Lead Code Contest, it is definitely going to help you as it is a fast language. So moving ahead to Java, it is helpful in open source contributions. See, let me tell you why these days open source is necessary. In contribution to open source, what we have to do? We have to understand other people's code and we have to work with communities. And this is definitely going to help you in your jobs or anything else. So open source is a must and Java and JavaScript both have its benefits. Let me tell you why C++ is not good for open source contributions. Mostly C++ is used in compilers and OS development and a beginner can't just directly contribute to it. So let us now see another benefit of Java. Java is helpful in your project development. Yes, you don't need any high level knowledge of Java to start creating your projects. And why project development is important? Because at the end, if you are in any product based company, you have to work on projects. So Java and JavaScript both have its plus point. Another main point of Java is it is helpful in your placements. As Java is also one of the most highly recommended language for your placements, it is definitely going to help you. So now let us see JavaScript. Yes, JavaScript is helpful in open source and you are also good to go with projects if you have a basic knowledge of HTML and CSS. And its another benefit was it is in demand and highly used language. And I am telling you that at one point you have to work with JavaScript. But according to me, if you are a fresher, you have to secure your job first. And Java is the language which will help you in your placements. So Java is our final winner. So this is the one all-rounder language which will help you in your placements, in your open source contribution, in your project development and so on. So there's a win-win situation in learning this as your first language. Remember, you can always switch from one language to another language very easily. But I will strongly recommend you to not learn multiple languages as a beginner because it is going to be hectic for you. So that is it for today everyone. Hope you like this video. Share your views in comment section and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.